one of the best experts in the industry, a friend of Bon Voyage Travel, a great partner of ours, Memorable Costa Rica, to here to talk to you about Costa Rica and why you would want to visit this lush land. He is the director of sales. He's been with Memorable Costa Rica for 18 years from the very first day of operation. He's a good friend of our agency. I'd like to introduce you to Sergio Heinfling. Sergio, how are you doing today?
Hi, Ryan. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great, still under the circumstances. And as you cannot tell, I'm not in the hot springs behind me. This is a backdrop thing, technology, because I don't want you to see my kids or my wife coming in and out of the room. So bear with me.
We understand. We're all under that until we can get to the hot springs. So Sergio, why don't you take it away?
Of course, again, thank you so much to our Bon Voyage friends, and thank you guys for joining us today. I'm gonna try to show you beautiful Costa Rica in about 30 minutes. Bear with me, as you can tell from my accent, I am Costa Rican. I've lived all my life in Costa Rica, and I, as Ryan said, been working with the company since 2002. And I hope to show you a little bit of the magic that we offer here in Costa Rica for you. So first things first, we're open to the US. We're also open to Canada, Europe, the UK, and other nationalities. With the US, we've been adding states almost every week since the start of September. And those states that you see listed below on my slide are allowed to visit Costa Rica. If you're asking yourself, how do we know if I'm from California or Colorado? They're gonna ask for your driver license. So you have to have a valid driver license from one of the authorized states. Requirements. An online, super easy to fill out health form. You have to have a negative PCR COVID test taken within 72 hours, but we're hearing soon it will be extended to 96, so that's good news. And also, negative antibody test is in the works, so basically it's gonna be easier soon. Besides those requirements, the only one left is travel insurance, and with those, if you fit, if you check those requirements, you're able to visit Costa Rica. Of course, things are changing constantly, and we're updating our friends at Bon Voyage. So if you have any questions, by all means, ask them. Now, the good stuff that we have, the negative or the difficult out of the way. So this is Costa Rica. We have the Caribbean, Atlantic Ocean on our east, and we have the Pacific to our west. And up north, we have Nicaragua, and down south, we have Panama. So Costa Rica is not an island, but most people think it's an island because of the two oceans that we have. This is where I live at. This is the Central Valley. This is the capital. This is the main city. We have one international airport, which is called San Jose or SJO. And we have a second international airport called Liberia or LIR. In San Jose, we used to say, don't spend time here, arrive and leave immediately. Right now, 80% of all active COVID cases are located here in the Central Valley, where the cities are. So if you land in San Jose, what we're gonna do is take you out immediately to any of the inland regions and then to the beach of preference, and we're gonna show you different beaches. And it's important to know that Costa Rica can be done, I would say 7 nights as a minimum. If you want to do a beach experience 7 nights, we're gonna say, fine, we're happy to help our friends at Bon Voyage quote a package for 7 nights, but we're gonna ask why. Why? Because Costa Rica is so much more than just a beach. So starting with the Central Valley, we have the city, we have museums, but we have natural and amazing properties that you can visit on the way out of San Jose, or if you overnight in San Jose because your flight arrives late. And one of those is this property. It's called the La Paz Waterfall Gardens. And there's a super special property called the Peace Lodge. And it's a beautiful property, but the gardens are amazing. You have 4 different waterfalls. You have wildcats, you have frogs, you have hummingbirds, you have hiking trails, you have a trout lake fishing space, and it's all inside this property called La Paz, where the Peace Lodge is located. So this is a beautiful property. It's not a zoo. We have no zoos in Costa Rica. They're forbidden by law. It's actually an animal shelter. So you can see animals that the government has taken from private persons because we're not allowed to have any wildlife in our homes. Or if a car hit a wildcat, or if a monkey got somehow electrocuted, those are taken to those animal shelters and you can see the animals up close. Another property, again, if you overnight in San Jose or the outskirts or on the way out, we have this beautiful property, which is actually a cloud forest. And this property is called El Silencio, and it's a relay chateau property. I'm sorry if I killed that name. It's a beautiful property. It's only 24 units. They have units for 2, 3, 4 people, 1 bedrooms. And then they have 2 and 3 bedroom villas. And every single unit has its own private plunge pool or hot water jacuzzi. It's an hotel that you don't have AC and you don't need it because it's way up in the mountains and it's cooler. It's never as cold as you can get in the US. And just as an example, I'm going to say in Costa Rica, if you come in December and you go in San Jose, you see people wearing gloves and scarves and the hats, and it's like 65. So it's never as cold as you guys get in the US. So this property is very nice. It's a great property to disconnect, to be in touch with nature. It's boutique-ish, but it's super nice and upscale. At the property, you have one of the best spas in the country. You have yoga, you have horseback, you have waterfalls again, you have hiking, and you have several different other activities that you can enjoy. And you have this guy, the Poas volcano. It's the 2nd largest crater in the world. And it's the only volcano in Costa Rica where you can go up the mountain and look at the crater down from where you are. It's safe, although it's very active. So basically you have 20 minutes at the crater to enjoy the view. The idea is to go as early as possible because later in the day, the clouds roll in and it gets covered. But if you go down before 9 a.m., and if you're lucky, you get to see this beautiful image that I'm showing you. Coffee in Costa Rica is very important. We have several different coffee plantations that you can visit. If the time of the year is right, and that's late November, early December to say February, you can see the red coffee bean, and that's ready to be picked up of the plant. So you can actually practice picking up the grain of coffee, and they show you the process. I'm showing you one of the coffee plantation properties we have, and we have also something called Alsacia, and that finca, that farm, is from Starbucks. So it's actually, you can see basically our grain being processed to head to Starbucks coffee. And that's about the Central Valley. I'm going to show you now one of my favorite regions. It's super special for those that are traveling in family and are into nature. This town called Tortuguero is on the ocean, on the Caribbean. We like to call it our little Amazon, or the small Amazon of Costa Rica, because you have canals, you have lush jungle. All the properties are super boutique-ish, and I mean 25 rooms or less. From all the properties, you get kayaks and paddleboards that you can enjoy in the canals. And the highlight of this region is these guys, the turtle nesting. So if you travel to Costa Rica and you're into nature and you travel through June through November or early December, we're going to recommend that if you like nature, that we send you to the turtle nesting region of Tortuguero, where you get to see the big animal come out of the ocean, dig a hole, lay their eggs, cover the hole, and head back to the ocean. And if you come in late in the season, you're gonna be able to see these guys, the baby turtles hatching and going out into the water. So it's an incredible activity. As I mentioned, the hotels are boutique-ish. I would say we have one 5-star property, the rest are 4 or 3-star properties. It's charming. It's sort of all inclusive without the alcohol because there's nowhere else to go. And as you can tell, also it's on the ocean. But like my favorite guide in Costa Rica says, this region is on the ocean, but you do not go into the ocean because you do not want to become part of the food chain. So basically this is on the beach, but it's not a beach destination whatsoever. We usually send our clients to Tortuguero for 2 nights only. And I don't love selling Tortuguero if it's not in turtle nesting season. Jumping to our northern plains, the 2 regions I'm going to show you is Arenal, and then I'm going to show you Monteverde. Arenal is the volcano. Arenal National Park is a very active volcano. I would say about 12, 13 years ago, you used to see the lava coming down of the volcano when it was dark. Nowadays, we definitely know it's active because there are plenty of hot spring properties that I promise they do not hit the water to their pools. And this region is rainforest. So you have a volcano, you have rainforest, and you have a ton of properties from super luxury, and I'm gonna show you a couple, to very nice, clean, safe, comfortable rooms, but not luxurious, with amazing volcano views, most properties. And the highlight of the region is, as you can tell from the backdrop behind me and on the picture I'm showing you, is the hot springs. My favorite, although you have 5 or 6 different hot springs in this region, is Tabacon. Tabacon is a property we work very close with. It's part of something called Signature Travel Network, which Bon Voyage and Memorable Costa Rica are part of. And at this property, for example, you get a free upgrade, you get breakfast throw-in, you get a couple of cocktails at the swing of bar, and you get other amenities that you will receive when booking through Bon Voyage. The water that you see here, it's actually cooled because it comes out of the volcano at 160 or more degrees Fahrenheit. So whenever it gets down the hill up to the landscape gardens and the pools, they're actually cooled by a cold water river. So it's an incredible, relaxing experience. The spa at this property is also second to none. The rooms are very luxurious and recently renovated. Within the last 2 years, everything has been redone. So it's a very nice experience. It's one of my favorites in the region. And then we jump to another really, really nice property. It's called Nayara. And at this property, you have an adult-only section, you have a family-only section, and you have this new section, which is glamping. The most luxurious tent camps you'll ever see are located here. They call it tented camps, but I promise you it's ultra luxury experience. Each and every tent comes with their own private pool, and they have a few sets of connecting, and connecting, by connecting I mean a passageway in between the 2 tented camps, the tents, so you can have a family of 6 or 8 in 2 tented camps. Each tented camp holds up to 4 different persons. The property has a small, very nice hot springs region also inside the property. And as you can tell, well, this is the tent. This is the tented rooms or tented glamping experience in Nayara, and it's super nice and fancy. It's a beautiful experience. Last property I'm gonna show you is another one of the top 3 properties. Tabacon is 1, Nayara is 2, and this is the Springs Resort. I don't know if you're familiar with The Bachelorette. One of the seasons of The Bachelorette was filmed here. My wife doesn't allow me to watch anymore, so sorry. And this property is incredible. They have 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, up to a 5 bedroom unit in this property. The nicest pools in the area, and it's the most fancy property in the area. It's a beautiful experience also. And they have also by the river something called Club Rio, where you get your activities if you don't want to go out of the hotel. And you can enjoy rafting or tubing or horseback. They also have an animal shelter in property that you can visit. So it's pretty much of a self-contained experience. Arenal, of course, is all about the activities: zip lining, rappelling, waterfalls, hiking, rafting. If you travel with smaller kids, or if it's a set of grandparents that want to travel, we can do floats, floating safaris to see the animals. We have animal shelters. We have an amazing dog rescue shelter that it's incredibly visited because people love their dogs, and there are like 400 dogs in a very big property, and people volunteer. So it's a very nice experience also. Of course, you have hanging bridges in the rainforest. All the nature activities, we always do them guided. It's not that you will get lost in the forest, but it's that with a guide, as a naturalist certified guide, you'll get to experience, learn, and really observe lots of animals that you would miss if you travel inside alone. This is the floating safari. As I mentioned, you have kayaking, and you have tubing, and you have waterfalls, and you have caving. There's plenty of activities that you can enjoy in the Arenal region. A little bit farther south from Arenal, we have Monteverde, and Monteverde is basically a cloud forest. And the way we get you there, most people will start in Arenal and move to Monteverde. We get you on a boat, and you cross the Arenal Lake, which is a man-made lake for electricity. It's a 45-minute boat ride, and then you get to the other side and start going uphill and uphill and uphill until you get to the cloud forest of Monteverde. This is I would say, a less touristy region in comparison to Arenal. Hotels are smaller. Still, we have nice properties like you're seeing on this slide. Sorry. And we have pools, but weather here it's a little bit cooler. So most people will go into the water if it's tepid, if it's heated. But most people will read a book, will relax, will enjoy yoga, and of course go into the cloud forest. And this is the cloud forest is the primary forest of Costa Rica. There you can find the big trunks on trees that you can take, I don't know, 30 seconds to go around a tree trunk. And an incredible activity. Again, you have plenty of experiences in Monteverde, including the zip line. And starting a zip line in the clouds, I can tell you it's one of the most scary experiences I've ever done. But after the two first cables, I started to enjoy it and go as fast and as long as I could. Again, animals, as you can tell from what I'm showing you, we have animals and nature all over Costa Rica. So sloths, birds, monkeys, bats, insects you can enjoy, learn, and watch in these regions. Now I'm gonna jump to Guanacaste. Guanacaste is our biggest province. And before I head to the beaches, I'm gonna show you another inland experience called Rio Perdido, and it's here in Bagaces. And for those that you don't know Spanish, Rio Perdido means lost river. And this property is named Rio Perdido because it's in the middle of nowhere where a Rio Perdido, a lost river is located. And this property actually has two rivers. One, it's hot spring water, and the other one is cold water. So in the property, you have pools with hot spring water, and then you have activities in the canyon and cold water experience, and it's a beautiful experience. These are the older rooms. It gives you a feel that you're in a treehouse. It's actually not a treehouse, but it's super natural. The last time I was there with a few agents on a familiarization trip, one of the ladies, when we were heading for breakfast, started yelling, and they had a few monkeys in their balcony destroying the lamps in the bungalow. So it's a very up close experience. You'll get everyone say, close your windows, close your door, because animals are a little bit mischievous. Activities, again, you have tubing, you have hanging bridges and via ferrata, you have hot springs, and you have adventure in the canyon. So it's, again, a self-contained experience in this Rio Perdido property, and it's a beautiful property. If you land at Liberia and don't want to go all the way to Arenal because you're looking at a 3.5 hour drive, what we're doing is we're sending people inland from Liberia to Rio Perdido, which is only 90 minutes away, and you get your hot spring fix, and you get the activity fix, and then 90 minutes later, you're from Liberia, you're at this property, and then we send you to the beach to relax. Most people also will enjoy a day tour to Rio Perdido from one of the properties in Guanacaste that are farther up north, closer to the property. Next property, and this is where I was at last week. It's called Las Catalinas. And this is something the agents at Bon Voyage and other agents at different companies that work with us have requested. And it's condos, villas, flats that we can rent, fully staffed, partially staffed, only housekeeping, or nothing at all. We can rent a villa for you. So basically, if you tell your Bon Voyage concierge or agent, well, I want to travel to Costa Rica and I want to come for a month, like we're getting a lot, mostly from Northeast clients that want to come for over the winter, say November to January or December to February, we can rent a villa for 5 nights, a week, 1 month, 2 months, you name it, and we can do it. This property is beautiful because it resembles an old European town. It's on the beach. You have shadow of the trees. The ocean is super calm. This is something that gets everyone that visits Costa Rica very surprised. Our oceans are super nicely temp waters. So I know in California, the ocean is very cold, and whenever I've been to Florida and I touch the water of the ocean, I almost freeze. But the ocean waters in Costa Rica are super nice to spend 4, 5, 6 hours in the water with no wetsuit, and you can really enjoy the water. Everything in this property is walking distance. We can do pre-grocery shopping. We can do a chef. We can do a butler. We did not have a housekeeping because I went there with my parents-in-law, and they're older and preferred not to have any people outside our family entering the home. But if you want, you can have someone from housekeeping come every day, cleaning, washing dishes, making breakfast for you, and then leave. You can do it when you're out of the villa, for example, or you can coordinate nicely. They also have a beach club that you can use. And it has a couple of restaurants, a couple of hotels. One is adult only inside the same property. So it's a full experience in a very nice beach. This is Las Catalinas. These are a couple of homes that you can review. I actually stayed at this property, which was really far away from the beach, and the walk time to the sand was 7 minutes. That's it. So as you can tell, it's high in the mountain, but actually walking distance to the sand. Activities, you get paddle boarding, kayaks, you can enjoy them for free. You can rent a mountain bike and ride, or you can just enjoy and relax in the ocean. This is the adult-only place I was mentioning. Also inside Las Catalinas, we have a few other adult-only properties in Costa Rica. So if that's the way you want to travel, adult-only properties, we can send you to 4 or 5 different properties where you'll have no families around you. Basically, Costa Rica can be done through big resorts, chain or brand name hotels like Westin, Four Seasons, Andaz, Hyatt, you name it, we have them. We have the resorts in Costa Rica are not the massive size of say, Dominican or Cancun or Tulum. The resorts are even smaller than those. The biggest resorts we have, it's like a 400 room property. This is one of them with a massive size pool. It's the biggest in Central America. It's called the Westin Conchal, and it's an all-inclusive. So if you prefer to travel to an all-inclusive property, we can set you up also, okay? Again, you have kids club, you have golf at several different properties. Of course, the golf is not even included if the property is all inclusive, but it's compared to the US from what I gathered, it's very good pricing for a tee. The beach is amazing. It's a massive size beach. You have trees all across the beach, so you can have shade, or you can get a bed and an umbrella and get service on the sand. This is another property that it's basically brand new. It's called the W, and it's a beautiful property. Also in the same property where the Westin is located, but the hotels, you cannot see each hotel from the other. And this is not all inclusive, but it's a beautiful experience. As I said, it's completely almost new, 1 year old. And it's a great experience for families or adults alike. We can do your beach experience in town. We can do your beach experience in a condo type hotel of 1, 2, or 3 bedroom villas with your own pool. We can do super isolated properties for you at the beach, or we can do big boutique, all inclusive or breakfast only. As you can see, we can do pretty much any type of hotel for you. We're running a little bit late, so let me jump a few slides. Activities at the beach. It's not all about laying on the sand. It's not all about the sun. You can enjoy turtle nesting depending on the time of the year from Guanacaste. You can enjoy tubing or rafting or adventure experiences like zip lining and caving. You can enjoy hot springs also. So if you come to the beach and you want to just lay out, you can do it. But if you want to be kept busy with activities and learn, you can do it also. So fishing, scuba, snorkeling, plus many other more activities you can enjoy. We're gonna do then the Central Pacific and the South Pacific of Costa Rica, and then we'll be almost done. Central Pacific, it's only a 2.5 hour away from San Jose. This is the beaches that most of us Costa Ricans go to because it's very close to San Jose. So basically we have Manuel Antonio. This is the region, this is a town, lots of restaurants, lots of hotels, lots of bars, shops. You have plenty of monkeys in the Manuel Antonio National Park. The beaches are beautiful, but most hotels are on a hill. So you get amazing ocean views. And what do you do for beach? Either the hotel has a beach that you can get to walking, or they shuttle you inside the property to the beach, or you can use public transportation, either buses, taxis, Ubers, and head to the main beaches and enjoy. We have 2 or 3 properties that we like to sell that are beachfront. Those are the most popular, of course. And we can help you decide what's better for you depending on the different properties. Manuel Antonio also offers any of the activities you can think of, ocean or natural or adventurous. We have it all in Manuel Antonio except volcanoes. And then we're gonna jump to South Pacific and different unique properties. So I'm showing you, I would say nowadays it's my favorite property in Costa Rica. This is called Pacuare Lodge. It's a river lodge that you get into the lodge via rafting and you get out of the lodge via rafting. It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So you basically are eating and enjoying activities at the property. And it's sort of an all-inclusive, but it doesn't include alcohol. But you get your 3 daily meals. You get 2 activities per day that you can choose of. And the hotel is amazing. It's a National Geographic property. It's, I would say, it's a 4+, almost 5-star property. Super unique. And part of the activities, of course, the rafting in and out. You have rappelling, you have zip lining, you have my favorite experience here, but it's a strong 2.5 to 3 hour hike. It's to original Aboriginal population called Cabécar Indians in Costa Rica. And it's an incredible activity because this is one of the last towns where you have Aboriginals that live the way they used to be 100 or 200 years ago. So it's a very special experience that you can enjoy. This is the rafting on the way out. This is a soft spot for the rafting on the way out. In this creek, you can, on this canyon, sorry, you can jump out of the raft and float for a few minutes before you are forced to get in before the next rapids begin. So it's an incredible experience. Also in the South Pacific, we have a beautiful property that I love called Lapa Rios. And this is like a 16-suite or bungalow property only. You have a main building with the pool. And as you can see, it's all surrounded by nature. This region, the South Pacific or Corcovado, it's the wildest, naturally rich region of Costa Rica. The numbers that my guides tell me are that Costa Rica is 0.01% of the world's square mileage or footage, and 5% of the world's biodiversity can be found in this area. So it's incredibly rich with nature. Of course, working with your Bon Voyage preferred agent, we're gonna let you know if this is the right property for you. Why do I say that? Because when I went there, I loved it, but my wife didn't like it. Okay, we were working a few days at 4:45 or 4:30 a.m. by howler monkeys on your roof, and you have macaws, and you have sloths, and you have frogs, and you have insects. But it's an incredibly rewarding, disconnecting, relaxing type of experience. So it was an amazing experience for me. It is on the ocean, but the beaches in this region are smallish, a little bit rocky, darker sands. So it's basically you have a beach, but it's not all about the beach experience. Just like I showed you in Arenal, we have another property. This is an island that has 12 suites, glamping style again. I really like this property, except it does not have air conditioning. They do have fans. So depending on time of the year, I'm gonna say skip it, or yes, you're good to go and you're not gonna suffer from a heat stroke because it gets very hot. There's no pool in the property because you have the beautiful ocean that you can bait at. You get your kayaks and paddleboards complimentary. You can also set it up with a fish rod and you can catch anything and take it back to be cooked. And this is the highlight. The bioluminescence tour is an incredible, extraordinary experience that I will never forget when I did it. And basically, going over 7 minutes from what I had slotted, this is Costa Rica. Ryan, let me know if there are any questions, and if not, I will be happy to tell you the perks we have for you for booking with Bon Voyage.
Awesome. Let me go over a couple of questions that did come up. I would be curious, Sergio, now being that it's a tropical area, I'm sure that you're going to tell me it's a year-round destination, but is there a best time to travel to Costa Rica from your opinion?
Yes, I would agree. Costa Rica is great to visit year-round, but if you want perfect beach weather, no rain at all, I would say December or late November to April is the best time of the year to visit the Pacific. If you are honeymooning in September and October, and you want 4 seasons, for example, we're gonna say, listen, you're gonna have very nice heat. It's gonna be warm, it's gonna be 80s, 85, or maybe almost 90s, but in the afternoons, you will get rain. So if you don't need 4 seasons luxury, we can send you to the Caribbean coast. There are 2 fantastic 4-star properties that you can enjoy, and the weather will be beautiful and not rainy at all. I only mention beach because inland, where you're in the jungle, rainforest, or cloud forest, you can never tell if it's gonna rain or not, so you don't care.
Excellent. You touched early, Sergio, in the presentation about it being open to U.S. citizens, Costa Rica, and the steps that a citizen would need to take to travel there. Just in this environment, one of our viewers did ask, what is kind of the status of coronavirus in country?
Sure. So right now we're approaching 70,000 cases for all of Costa Rica. We're almost at 700 fatalities from the virus in all of the country. Right now, everything is concentrated in a few areas of the Central Valley. So for example, where I live, which is called Santa Ana, which is in the outskirts of San Jose, but still in the Central Valley, we have some different sort of measures that have been taken. So they don't allow bars to operate. For example, we cannot go out and party, not that I would go out with 2 kids and a wife. But for example, some restaurants are open only up to 50% capacity. And well, everyone's taking your temp when you're going into the grocery store and things like that. You have to wash your hands before going into a restaurant. You have to get a alcohol gel to go into the grocery store and things like that. But it's now it's pretty much almost life as it was before this thing.
Okay, yeah, we're used to that here in Arizona, very similar type of measures that we're taking here. Obviously, with the tropical nature, mosquitoes, insects, is there a better time of year to avoid those dastardly guys?
Not really. I mean, my experience with my wife is I don't get bitten. I'm very sour to mosquitoes. My wife always gets bitten by mosquitoes. So a little bit of it. Most places have citronella torches and candles and things like that. Some of the hotels that are in the jungle, that our construction is very open, or that they want you to open your doors to experience an indoor-outdoor experience, you will get the mosquito netting around the beds. But I can tell you it's not bad at all unless you travel, say, in October to the Pacific and you stay near a mangrove, for example.
Okay. Excellent. I couldn't help but notice this seems like a great destination for a multi-generational family to travel to because of the activities, from kayaking to jungle trekking, zip lining. It just seems like a great destination. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Absolutely. The niche we do the most for our agents is multi-generation family travel. Sometimes we have grandma and grandpa paying for the whole thing, for example, and they say all the experiences we want are for us alone privately and everyone together. So for example, if there's a teen and a dad that want to go on a zip line, they may do so, but it's not part of the overall experience. But there's so many activities, hard or soft, natural or adventurous, that you can enjoy, that it's pretty much great. If someone, a dad or a mom, wants to have a spa day and don't do anything, everyone else can go on a floating safari or on a volunteering experience or an animal shelter experience. And it's basically, you tell us what you want to enjoy. Anything except holding a sloth or petting a monkey or something that it's not allowed here, goes. So, I mean, there's no swimming with the dolphins. There's no holding a sloth unless it's a baby sloth and you have very good luck and it's in the shelter and they allow you to feed it. That's it. But it's a 100% natural country.
If I've never visited Costa Rica, would you recommend going to one hotel or one spot and setting up camp there? Or maybe would there be 2 spots? What would be that first best experience that you would craft?
I think if you come to Costa Rica, I hope you're coming for at least 6 or 7 nights.
Okay.
If you're coming for 6 or 7 nights, I'm always gonna say, let's recommend a multi-region experience. So you spend a few nights inland, and then if it's what you want, go to a beach of your choice. And as you can tell from beaches, we have, I don't know, 60 something different colors of sand. We have the all-inclusive or the breakfast only. We have the big properties, or we have the boutique properties. We have the in-town or isolated. So we really ask a ton of questions until your client tells us, please, do not ask me any more questions. Show me something. But yeah, I mean, we get to know you through your agent at Bon Voyage until we are confident on what is the right property for you.
That's great. Hopefully people are ready and saying, what is my incentive? Sergio, tell them what they can experience and get if they book through Bon Voyage Travel.
Of course. So first of all, we're in Costa Rica. We want the Americans to come back. 60% of all tourism in Costa Rica is from the US. Everywhere you'll go, you'll speak English and you'll be treated with a smile, and we're super serviceable and happy that you're here. Hotels need business. So right now what we're offering for any Bon Voyage bookings is, depending on the time of the month that you're gonna travel, and right now nothing is busy, we're gonna get you upgraded complimentary. And this happens at the moment of booking, not at the moment of arrival, okay? That's number one. And number two, if you book through Bon Voyage any time from now until November 30th of 2020, you're gonna receive a $200 activity credit that you can use towards whatever you wanna enjoy. So if it's a zip line or a rafting or an animal shelter or a guided hike in some national park, you have those $200 to spend as you wish.
Outstanding. This is a great situation. I hope that some of our viewers, if not all of them, got inspired today to make that booking. So all of our advisors at Bon Voyage know Memorable Costa Rica very well. They know all of the perks. And just like Sergio mentioned, it's not just a cookie cutter experience. This is something that can be crafted to your needs, your family's desires, and the way you want a vacation. So Sergio, I wanted to thank you for joining us today and being our expert eyes and ears on the ground there in Costa Rica. Thank you for your partnership.
My pleasure. Thank you again, Ryan, and all the Bon Voyage members, and for you guys that I hope you enjoyed Costa Rica. A little bit of what I had to show you. I promise you it's even better in real time.
Oh, I know it would be. So thank you to all of our viewers today for joining us on the webinar series. You know where to find us. bvtravel.com is our website. Head back there to check out next week's webinar series. If you're interested in heading to Australia or New Zealand, we're going to give you a little bit of a different piece of the globe to get excited about. Come back and see us next week. And on behalf of Sergio, thank you for joining us this week. Take care.